I felt like God told me something and he has not watched to fulfill it, or he has let me down. Honestly, I was angry with God. I was feeling like, why did you allow me to get there then if it was not going to work? Why didn't you warn me? Why did you give me those signs that I could go ahead and do this thing? Because I didn't I didn't want to feel like that. I didn't want to feel that familiar feeling. And you can always sense it from afar that it's coming. And so I would put my defense gear on, and I'm like, no, 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 like we have to make it work. And I remember this day, I was just seated right opposite my boyfriend at that time. And he looks into my eyes and he says, it's not gonna work, but it's not you who is the problem, it is me. And I was like, what do you mean, brother? Like, what is the problem? Long story short, I never got to find out at that particular sitting what was really going on. Like, it's not you, it's me, is all the closure I got at that time. Okay, later I came to find out. Trust my investigation skills. But I remember going home that day and I just wanted to scream and shout because I was heartbroken. It had been 2 years and I felt like, you know, I had really invested in that relationship. And for it to end and all I get is, it's not you, it's me, I felt like it was quite unfair. And I felt like the person should have given me more to work with. And I felt like there are so many things that in the course of those 2 years that I felt that person could have done, to save our relationship. But that's what happens when it is you fighting and not the other person. It's a terrible feeling. But so I go home that night and I just want to scream and shout and shout and shout. And I did, because I felt like at that particular time, that's the only thing that I could do to ease in the tension of what I was feeling on the inside. Luckily, there was no one home that night, so I could scream and shout and scream and shout and cry my heart out. And I did. And for the very first time, I felt a combination of emotional pain that um, gave me physical pain. I was just this physical pain in my chest, and like I can't even explain it, but it was so physical. Like it was physical. Like I could feel physical pain. And the interesting thing is, at that particular time, I was mad at so many things. I was mad. I was angry. I was bitter about so many things. But surprisingly, one of the people that I was mad at that particular time was God. Let me explain why. Before I got into this relationship with this person, one of the things that I did was to go to God in prayer and fasting. And I searched his will regarding this relationship and this person. And in my heart and in my mind, I was convinced that for sure God has confirmed I can go ahead with this relationship. And so when I am seeing it all coming down 2 years later, I felt like God told me something and he has not watched to fulfill it, or he has let me down. Honestly, I was angry with God. I was feeling like, why did you allow me to get there then if it was not going to work? Why didn't you warn me? Why did you give me those signs that I could go ahead and do this thing? And so I felt like, and for a long time after that, actually for a few months after that, I could not even pray about my love life and my relationships. I couldn't. I was wondering, like, what do I tell God? What do I say to him? I feel like that area of my life now, let me not pray about it, because I don't know what to tell God. Like, I came and I prayed, and I felt like he has let me down regarding that specific area. Like, there were so many other things in my life that God was so gracious and they were moving perfectly. But that corner, that specific corner, I felt like God didn't watch that over that, and he let me down on that corner. So I am not letting him in that wardrobe again. And so time passed, and I I just and so it went on, and for some months and for a long time, I was sad. I was heartbroken. There was so much of my, like, I had, for the very first time in my life, I had self-esteem issues. I had, like, there's so much that came after that, and feeling inadequate, and not and a negative image that came with the opposite gender, that came with relationships. Like, I was really reserved. And I started building these walls, and, like, no one, like, it's like I made a decision that no one is going to get that close to me again, because I don't want to feel like that again. Like, any moment that I would get close to someone, I would feel like, you are going to hurt me, so before you do it, let me run. And I would literally run. And so in this episode, I just want to share with you some of the lessons that I learned from this heartbreak that nearly killed me. And when I say killed me, I don't mean physically. I am here. And yeah, no, it never got, no. I mean, emotionally, spiritually, that almost killed my self-esteem, that almost killed this view that I had of myself, almost killed so many emotional and spiritual aspects of myself. And number one lesson that I learned is to stop and ask myself, is it really God who is speaking? And because later on, when I was, like, analyzing this whole story and how we had gotten here, one of the things that I realized is that God has spoken to me, but he had not given me a go ahead into that relationship. In fact, he had warned me against it. But I picked what God had told me, and I twisted it until it favored what I was feeling at that particular time. Sounds like wisdom until it's not. Because had I listened to what God told me that night before I started dating that person the next day, it would have saved me a lot of pain and a lot of bitterness and a lot of um, emotional damage that came with it. But I didn't. I was just there interpreting what God was saying to favor me. Yeah, to favor what I was feeling and what I wanted and the dreams that I had envisioned with this person, without stopping to really confirm, is it really God? What is God really saying? How has he said it? Can I talk to someone else about it, and get to hear their view? For me, I just picked it, interpreted it, and ran with it. And it it brought me a lot of trouble. So just that being in tune with the Holy Spirit and being in tune with God in such a way that I am able to know when it is surely God and when it's me and my desires and my vision and my dreams in this life. So I am learning, and I have learned to not be so quick to act, especially when in my mind I am thinking, or in my heart I am feeling like it's God speaking. Like just being intentional and taking, especially the part of taking time, because sometimes we are praying about something and we have a dream about it, and tomorrow you wake up and you run with that thing. But just taking time, okay, I feel like God is saying this, but let me take more time and seek Him more just to get clarity. Like I'm learning that before I take a step, not even in just relationship, like in every area of my life, by the time I take that step, let every part of me, every inch of me be in agreement that this is what God would have me do. It doesn't mean like because God is the one who has told me to do it, it's going to be easy. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to be challenging. It will be, yeah, it can be, but just having that conviction, 100% conviction, because at that time it wasn't 100%. There's a part of me that, at the back of my mind, I knew God is saying this, but there's a part of me also that wanted what God was, God's will and my will to align. Like, but at the back of my mind, I knew this could be probably what God is saying. And so I am learning, and I have learned to just take my time. Okay, it is God who has said it, all right? But can I take some time and seek Him? Can I take some time, and if it's a very tough decision, can I talk to someone that I trust about it? Can I talk to someone who can pray with me about it? And this has made it easier to navigate this streets, whatever streets that we are on, singleness, dating streets, just taking time to seek God, and when He talks, taking time to interpret what He's saying and to understand what He's saying without twisting it to favor me. And the next thing that I learned is that people change. Only God doesn't. It sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Like, it just hit me that the person you are with today can wake up tomorrow and they don't love you, or they are not in your life for whatever reason. And the question is, are you so confident in who you are and in your identity that even this, if this person leaves today for whatever reason, then I will not lose myself? Like, I will continue with my life. It doesn't mean that I don't stop and feel the pain that comes with a broken relationship, but just being able to be in a place of self-awareness that I can, even if they walked out of my life, I can easily put myself back together and continue with my life. Because sometimes we get into relationships and our identity is so pegged in this person that if this person is not in my life today, I don't even want to live anymore. I don't see the beauty of life anymore. But we need, and I've learned to be in such a place that before I get into a relationship, just understanding that something can happen and it can just, it's not there anymore. But I need to be in a place where even if this person walks away, and I'm not advocating for giving 50-50 so that you're on the fence. If something happens, you can run away. No, just being in that place where I am giving my 100%. But also, if this person walks away, I am able to continue with my purpose. I am able to continue with my life. I'm able to not lose myself. The other thing that I learned is to give my very best when I'm in a relationship. Like I would want that every relationship that I am in, I can, if for whatever reason, I can, something happens and it's not there anymore, I can walk away feeling that I gave my very best. Like I have no doubt in my mind that I can walk away. Like I have no doubt in my mind that I gave my very best. It's just that this person was not for me, or I was not for them. Yeah, because sometimes a relationship ends and we tend to blame ourselves, and that's what I did in my case. Like I kept feeling like it was me. Like why didn't I love more? Why didn't I give more? Why didn't I did? Probably if I had done this, this could not have happened. But in the real sense, later I come to find out like it had nothing to do with me. It was the other person and their life and other things that were going on. And so just being in that place that if it doesn't work, walk away feeling that I gave my best. And this comes with consistently doing the right thing, consistently doing, respecting this person, consistently being there for this person in such a way that every day you give it your best, every hour you give it your best. And so for whatever reason, if it doesn't work, it's not you. It's just that this person was not the right person for you. And when time is right, God will bring that person. Yeah. And the other thing I learned is that, so long story short, I held on to this relationship for a very long time because I was trying to use glue, sellotape, everything that I could find to just maintain this relationship because I didn't want it to end. But in as much as I had the very best intentions for it to work, because I could see a future with this person, I was happy with this person, there's an aspect of selfishness that came with it when I was trying to make it work and not to end, because I never wanted to feel, in as much as this person was drifting away, I kept feeling like no, like it should continue, because I didn't want to feel that feeling of rejection. I didn't want to feel like this person has, probably chosen someone else over me. I wanted to, I didn't want to feel that. Like it's a terrible feeling. Just feeling like, I'm being rejected, especially for me, I had a lot of history with rejection at that particular time. And so it wasn't an unfamiliar feeling. And so I fought with it for a very long time. Sorry. I fought with it for a very long time because I didn't want to feel it. Like it, I don't know, but if you've been through a rejection by whoever, it could be a parent, it could be a boyfriend, it could be a girlfriend, like whoever, like it hurts and no one wants to feel that once, twice, thrice. Like you go through it once and you never want to go through it. And so for me, I tried so much to make it work because I didn't I didn't want to feel like that. I didn't want to feel that familiar feeling. And you can always sense it from afar that it's coming. And so I would put my defense gear on and I'm like, no, 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 like we have to make it work. We can, yeah, just to avoid feeling like that, which is very natural, but again it's very selfish because you're trying to hold on to the other person and you're not considering, like, are they happy in this relationship? Are they willing to put on the effort? And you see, at the end of the day, you're the one who gets hurt because you're the one who is trying to put it together and you're the one who's putting the effort. The other person is just done with it. And so just also analyzing my motive, and it's something that I would advise someone to do. Like if you're in my situation and you're in this relationship and you feel like the other person is not putting the effort, or it's not going to work. And the crazy thing is that you can always feel like it's not, you can always tell when it's not going to work. And so if you're in that place and you've been trying to put it together with whatever tools that you're finding, you're trying to put it together, just analyze your motives. Like, could it be that it's for selfish reasons? Could it be it's for your own reasons that you want this relationship to continue? What is your motive? And so just analyzing that whenever I find myself in a relationship, and also in the first place, why, like, what is my reason behind it? Yeah, what is my motivation towards wanting to associate with this person, wanting to settle down with this person? Is there an aspect of selfishness? Is there an aspect of, is there any negativity in, or any negative force that is making you want to hold on to this person or to continue to start a relationship with this person?